Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. And folks, today I think a lot of people could argue that the Disney company might have lost its direction or has lost its direction with some of the controversies that have come up. We don't need to mention them, but the history of the company, Disney itself, especially when Walt Disney was alive, is nothing short of spectacular. Now, there's a lot of things that people might not know about the Disney company and how they saved many companies during the Depression. Now, if we think about certain things in life, we think about soda, we think about Coca-Cola, we think about fast food, we think about McDonald's, just iconic companies. But what would you think of if I told you model trains? Now, if you think of model trains, what would you think of? Lionel Trains, probably the most recognized name in model trains and railroading in the entire world. Well, what would you do if I told you that the Walt Disney World Company actually saved Lionel Trains back in 1934? So join me on this video and I'll explain to you how this amazing little toy right here, which was not really a toy, it's a model railroad of handcar of Mickey and Minnie, that was made by Lionel Trains in 1934, how this one item, this one piece, which actually came in red or green, this is the red one, saved the Lionel Company. So stay tuned for a very cool video. I hope you enjoy it. So first off, just to explain the Great Depression briefly, Great Depression actually happened in 1929. Wall Street crashed, the stocks crashed, people who were millionaires, billionaires, overnight were penniless. One example was John Ringling, who started the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. The guy was a multi-millionaire, and then in a matter of one day, he was poverty-stricken. For most folks, too, who weren't that rich, life was very hard. My father grew up during the Depression. Food was scarce. Food banks were prevalent, and it wasn't until pretty much World War II till the United States was able to get out of depression. So that pretty much started in 1929, and it lasted a really long time. So there were companies out there like Lionel who had some deep pockets. They were doing really well. But after like 4 or 5 years of this going on, and this happened worldwide, this just wasn't in the United States. So after 4 or 5 years of this going on, Lionel went into receivership in 1934. They didn't know what else to do. They were a great company that was started back in 1900 by a guy named Joshua Lionel Cowen, and I'll put his picture up over here. And so the company was really, really solid. But after 5 years, they were on very shaky ground. So what were they going to do? They went into receivership. What else was there to do? But then something amazing happened. Walt Disney, the creator of the Disney company, along with his brother Walt, had an incredible idea. He said to himself, because he always loved trains, right? That was part of his thing. You could look up how much he loved trains. I'll put a picture up of him here. He had an amazing idea to send one of his representatives, an advertising representative, over to Lionel Trains to have them do a replica of a Walt Disney World cartoon of Mickey that was done in 1929, Mickey and Minnie, who after their train crashes, they have like all the wood comes to settle in a certain spot and it becomes a handcar. So this was what was presented to Lionel. Lionel did a fabulous job of recreating this for a toy. And they put this toy out for literally $1. $1. And what ended up happening was, in the matter of months during this production, of course, this production started like around May or June. So, of course, you were heading into the Christmas season. So by December 31st of 1934, the Lionel Company had produced more than 234,000 of these particular toys. And lo and behold, by December 31st, they came out of receivership and became a viable company once again. All thanks to Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney. The two have said, one and of the same, obviously, because Walt thought him up. But in fact, the funny part of it is Mickey, whose original name was Mortimer, was actually thought up by Walt Disney when he was on a train ride from Los Angeles to New York. and he was in a major depression because being a young guy, his first character was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And because Walt was happy just to sign a contract as an animator, he didn't realize he had signed most of the rights away in the contract to the character, and the company actually stole the character off him. And it wasn't until later on that Disney was able to acquire, much, much later on, like about 1987, that they got Oswald the Lucky Rabbit back. But Mickey Mouse, who was called Mortimer then, was actually conceived of on a train, and which makes the story even more incredible. So this is what saved the Lionel Company, and I'll show you this toy once again. So I want to show you more of this piece that actually my friend of mine sent to me a few years ago, and this is a reproduction, but this is the actual reproduction of the handcar. And Frank, my friend, a big shout out to my friend Frank Coletto, who's a retired, he was a train conductor, and then he became a supervisor, worked on the F train line. This is just a magnificent piece of craftsmanship, and he sent it to me. And I want to show you, I'll close the video. My friend Frank is an avid train collector, and he's got an outdoor railroad in his yard in Brooklyn. So I'll show you that when I close the video. But I just wanted to show you more of this amazing replica. And let me show you the back. So this comes with an O-gauge train track, which I didn't build for this video, but you can see it's got the wind-up key, which of course works. And let me see, let me try to wind it up for you. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like, a comment. Let me know what you thought. Maybe you didn't notice about Disney. They also save Timex watches. I have a video on that too. So I'm going to leave you with a video. It's a short video, about 40 seconds, of Frank's outdoor railroad. It's amazing. He gets the tracks from Germany. They can stay outside all year long, snow, winter. You know, New York has the tough winters. And I'll show you his backyard with this train going around. He's got a Mickey in the back of the train. So I'm going to close it on that. I hope you enjoyed this. You could probably do a project on this if you have a kid out there who loves trains, doing a curriculum fair. It's a magnificent, wonderful, heartwarming story of how this mouse here made such a big difference in the world and continues to make such a difference. And he might be taking a little bit of a beating now with the Marvel movies losing money and a few other crazy things going on, but this mouse has resiliency. He just celebrated his 95th birthday on November 18th. He was a great boss. I worked for him for 7 years. So absolutely. So with that, I'm going to show you that video. I'm going to close the video on that. Have a great night. Love you. And I'll see you in the next video. This is Al signing off. Enjoy this video of Frank's outdoor railroad in Brooklyn, New York.